Hey, how's it going? It is all the news all the time, and my name is Adam. Yeah, and really nice of you to be here watching these crazy videos. And we're looking at some interesting stuff today. We're looking at yet another company that has drunk the Kool-Aid from the woke fountain and has collapsed. Because that's how it works. If you go woke, you go broke. And let's have a little look. Victoria's Secret, you know it well. There they are, the Victoria's Secret angels with their wings. Classic. Everybody loved them. They were, or every year, it was a highlight of the year. Massive publicity for this company. Everybody loved them. And they got rid of it. And then they went down through the toilet, and they're going to shut down pretty soon. So let's have a little look. Forbes, that big company, Forbes, is saying Victoria's Secret brand CEO Amy Hawke is departing after just 8 months. 8 months. She's had enough already. 8 months. Victoria's Secret brand CEO, that's the Amy Hawke, has announced that she'll be leaving after 8 months at the helm of the women's lingerie company. She was the CEO of the Victoria's Secret and Pink brands, notified the company of her decision on December 27, 2022, according to a January 3 securities filing. She is slated to depart the company on March 31st, at which point the current CEO of Victoria's Secret and Company, which is VSCO on the stock exchange, Martin Waters, will add Amy Hawke's responsibilities to his own, the filing stated. The news comes just months after Victoria's Secret acquired a rival company called Adore Me, and as it embarks on an expansion plans as it repositions the business. There's a lot of Orwellian doublespeak going on here. She hasn't notified the company, they notified her. And she's not going off to spend time with her family. She's been fired. So there's a lot of reading between the lines which is going on here. So Hawke was appointed CEO of the brand in July last year and had served as CEO of Pink since 2018, and she joined under previous owner L Brands, which in 2021 spun off the group as a publicly traded company in 2008. Well, there you go. Amy has graciously agreed to manage transition between now and the end of March. There are no plans to replace the role, the spokesman added. Well, the problem is, there's a lot of problems. The problem is Victoria's Secret went woke back in the 2016 and then 2017. There was a great push for feminism and SJW activism in the Twitter space and on Reddit and on Facebook. People screeching and howling at the moon, saying women are not allowed to be women. You've got to be gender neutral. Everywhere there shouldn't be sexuality. No one should be sexy or having sex with anybody. It all should be this gender neutral, puritanical. Everybody lives in this utilitarian outfits made of grey sackcloth, and we should all be sad about everything all day long, every day. And Victoria's Secret bought into that. They bought into it. They loved that idea. They said, okay, that's the way we're going to go. We're going to go completely woke. We're going to bring in these plus size models. We're going to make everything gender neutral. Good Lord. This is a lingerie company. And it just didn't go well at all. It did not go well. Let's have a look at their numbers. They bought in Adore Me. They bought that company for 400 million, but they're shutting down 251 of their stores. And if we look at their financials, Q2 earnings disappointing, numerous headwinds. That's another euphemism for saying they're losing money hand over fist. Valuation remains low for a good reason. This is coming from Seeking Alpha. And as we can see here, from the company overview, Victoria's Secret is a specialty retailer offering an assortment of fashion products, lingerie basically, such as bras, lingerie, sleepwear, athleisure, fragrances and more. However, as you can see here, the company's valuation has cratered by more than 50%, and market capitalization currently remains at 2.5 billion, which is a lot. But the year to date, the stock price has declined 45.28%, and that's since August 2021, which is not even a year ago. It's desperately hemorrhaging money really quickly, and the issue has been this drive towards what they call inclusion. If we look at Teen Vogue, they're talking about unpacking the Victoria's Secret rebrand, which they're saying happened after 2019. It really happened back in 2017. But major changes are underway in the fashion industry, they're saying. Remember, this is Teen Vogue, and we mostly have Gen Z and TikTok to thank. I think he changed that word to blame. Tired of false promises and putting a heavy emphasis on their desire to support only size-inclusive and sustainable brands, these so-called fashion vigilantes, the screaming harpies on TikTok, are changing the industry for the better, I would say the worse, because they've destroyed Victoria's Secret. As a result, many companies are stepping up and committing to an authentic rebrand. They're not. They're just being shut down because no one's buying anything, which is a major issue. Notoriously, Victoria's Secret was primarily focused on women's lingerie, and the brand spent decades marketing a very specific body type, mainly by way of supermodel angels. On top of that, the brand offered very limited sizing and rarely featured models in its marketing campaigns that didn't fit the typical supermodel angel aesthetic, which is what sold and went really well. In 2019, because the brand was highly criticised by the people on TikTok for its lack of diversity, it hired its first trans model, right? It's a lingerie company. That same month, the brand's chief marketing officer, Edward Razik, announced he was stepping down. I think he said, no, go woke, you go broke, and not without me, or without me. Then in October 2019, Victoria's Secret hired its first plus-size model, Ali Tate Cutler, and cancelled the famous fashion shows. And yeah, and those were the seeds of destruction. As we can see from the Victoria's Secret Wikipedia page, looking at the 26 and 2020 era, 2006, Victoria's Secret had 1,000 stores across the United States, and they had 1/3 of all purchases in the intimate apparel industry. 1/3 across the whole of the United States. That is a massive organisation. But then, in 2016, Turney steps down as CEO after being in the business for a decade. This guy knew what he was doing, and clearly knew what he was doing. And then Victoria's Secret got split into 3 divisions. Oh, it's all going badly wrong already. So we've got Victoria's Secret Lingerie, Victoria's Secret Beauty, and Pink. And they've each got their own separate CEO. This is not good. In 2016, direct sales only grew by 1.6%. And fell by 7.4% in the last quarter of the year. They discontinued the use of the print catalogue and dropped certain categories. Sales are stagnating in 2017. And then in 2018, they go full woke. They woke it right up. CMO Ed Razik makes a controversial comment that the company doesn't cast transgender or plus-size models in its annual fashion show because the show is a fantasy. Then there's a 40% stock plunge in the single year. They announced closure of 53 stores in the US. And in 2019, they relaunched the swimwear line L Brands. The parent company comes under public pressure from an activist shareholder who took performance with Razik and urged the company to update its brand image and switch up its predominantly male board of directors, who had been incredibly successful up to then, accounting for 1/3 of all purchases in the intimate apparel industry in the whole of the United States. Yeah, so let's fire all those people because they don't know what they're doing. Yes. And so he resigns following a Vogue interview, which he makes inflammatory statements about transgender models, trying to tell people the truth, and they're not having it. They're not listening to any sort of truth or logic. And in 2019, Executive Vice President April Holly steps down after 16 years. She obviously knew what she was doing, part of this group that was one of the most successful companies in the world. And and in November 2019, they announced it will no longer hold the Angel Fashion Show featuring its angels, indicating a major change in marketing strategy, or as I like to call it, the disaster. Absolute disaster for them. And in January 2020, CEO was in talks to step down, and there's reports of widespread bullying and harassment surfaced in 2020. These always come out when the left are trying to attack people. They go around searching for people to make complaints. February the 1st, 2020, the New York Times exposed an expose on the culture of misogyny, which painted a picture of long-time influential executive rampant sexual misconduct. Again, they're trying to stir up dirt to justify their wokery. It all goes horribly wrong. And now they've lost 50% of the value of the company. and they're in danger of being shut down and sold out. And what they've done, they're using their last reserves of money to buy Adore Me, and they're switching to an online only organization. So they're going to shut all their stores and trying to go online. And as you can see here from the Forbes report, Adore Me, the company they've bought for their last remaining cash, is a company that has a new business model, a subscription plan, sort of like Savage by Fenty, and a try before you buy program to the company. And the move is expected to create meaningful sales and profit for the company in 2023. I very much doubt it, to be honest. I very much doubt it. Unless you change away from wokery and bring back the angels and let women be pretty. I mean, that sounds horrifying, that you're allowing women to buy lingerie and look pretty and feel sexy. And why would you turn away from that as a lingerie company is beyond me, absolutely beyond me. But that's the way they've gone, and that's why they're going down the pan at an alarming rate of losing 50% of their share value in less than a year. Less than a year. Wowzers. It's not looking good. It is, yeah, company's valuation is created by more than 50% in a year, and it remains a major issue, declining by 45.28%. It's major issues going on, declining balance sheets, and this is what happens when you close down the positive side of the company and you listen to the frantic lunatics on Twitter who are screeching that there's no such thing as sex or gender and everyone should be in utilitarian overalls and you're a lingerie company. And that's what you get when you listen to these people. Someone has to stand up in the boardroom and say this is just madness, but then they're all terrified. They all listen to Twitter and believe the words coming out of these people's mouths and drink the Kool-Aid, and they ruin their companies because of it. They really do. And you could just quite easily say to these people, you don't pay for this, so keep your mouth shut, basically. And as you don't buy any lingerie, why don't you just shut it? And who knows what, oh yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem. Another thing here from the New Zealand Herald, health officials plus size models are bad as promoting smoking. So it's really not good to be pushing this plus size modelling because it normalises a situation which is equivalently bad in health terms as promoting smoking. So there you go. If the fashion industry decides to stop using models who appear to have starved themselves to skin and bones, as they should, they shouldn't then choose to promote an equally unhealthy body shape, which is the other side of the coin. So let me know. Let me know your thoughts on this. And can Victoria's Secret be saved? And can it go anti-woke in time? Or is it just going to shut down? And that's the end. And thanks, well done. Thanks for playing. Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, it just happens again and again and again. These people believe the wokery and they ruin their companies, and they all get the virtue signalling bonus points for being virtue signalling and woke, and all the Twitter people applaud them, and the bottom line of the industry just collapses, and all these people lose their jobs and the shops shut down. But they all get likes and clicks on Twitter for being woke, so that's all right then. Yeah, okay. Well, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys later.